The Pittsburgh Steelers have found their rookie quarterback, although it took until the 6th round of the 2025 NFL Draft to make it happen. In a draft that saw the Steelers repeatedly pass on several high-profile quarterback prospects such as Shedeur Sanders, Tyler Shaw, and Jalen Milroe, patience ultimately led them to Will Howard, the Ohio State national champion who now finds himself wearing the black and gold of Pittsburgh. For Howard, the wait was far longer than anticipated. Heading into draft weekend, the 23-year-old signal caller was widely projected to be a mid-round pick, with most mock drafts predicting he would come off the board somewhere in the 3rd or 4th rounds. His combination of size, arm strength, athleticism, and leadership made him an appealing prospect to several teams looking to add a developmental quarterback with starter potential. Many analysts even had Howard specifically mocked to the Steelers in earlier rounds, viewing him as an ideal fit for a team in desperate need of long-term stability at the quarterback position. But as the hours dragged on and the names kept flying off the board, Howard's slide became one of the more surprising storylines of the draft. Quarterbacks projected to go after him were selected ahead of him, and one by one, teams passed until he found himself watching the 6th round unfold with a growing mixture of frustration, anxiety, and hope. Yet through it all, Howard kept a singular focus: Pittsburgh. Even as disappointment mounted with each pick, he remained locked in on the Steelers as the team he wanted to join more than any other. Thanks to modern technology and the ubiquity of phone cameras, fans were able to see a raw, emotional glimpse into Howard's world during the wait. Video footage captured Howard watching the draft coverage, practically pleading for his dream to come true. "Please pick me, Pittsburgh. Please pick me, please." Howard could be seen saying, his voice filled with a mix of desperation, hope, and belief. It didn't take long after that moment for the phone to finally ring. And when it did, it was the call Howard had been waiting for. The Pittsburgh Steelers were on the line, offering him the opportunity he had dreamed about his entire life. While being drafted in the 6th round was not the path Howard, or anyone else, envisioned, the quarterback made it clear that it was never about when he would be selected, but rather where he would land. Speaking to reporters shortly after being drafted, Howard exhibited a level of maturity and perspective that immediately endeared him to fans and coaches alike. "I'm not gonna lie, it's not about when, it's where," Howard said when asked about falling to the 6th round. "That's what I kept saying to myself. I had to trust in God and believe that He had a plan for me and the right team was gonna pick me, and I believe 100% that the right team picked me." Howard's attitude fits perfectly with the culture Pittsburgh has long cultivated, one centered on hard work, resilience, and loyalty. His journey, while different than expected, is just beginning, and both Howard and the Steelers are hopeful that it will be a fruitful partnership. In terms of immediate plans, the Steelers are entering a summer filled with uncertainty at the quarterback position. While the team continues to hold out hope that veteran Aaron Rodgers will ultimately sign and become the starting quarterback for the 2025 season, nothing has been finalized. Rodgers' ongoing deliberations about retirement have left Pittsburgh in limbo, prompting the front office to ensure they have contingency plans in place. Will Howard now becomes a part of that equation? Importantly, the Steelers are not handing Howard the keys to the franchise just yet, nor are they expecting him to compete for a starting role immediately. Instead, the expectation is that Howard will come into training camp ready to learn, develop, and compete, taking advantage of every rep and opportunity presented to him. With Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson already on the roster, and the potential addition of another quarterback still possible, Pittsburgh will carry 4 quarterbacks into training camp, as General Manager Omar Khan previously indicated. That said, Howard's long-term potential is undeniable. Standing 6'5" and weighing 240 pounds, he brings prototypical size to the position. His arm strength allows him to push the ball downfield with ease, and his athleticism enables him to extend plays outside the pocket, traits that modern NFL offenses covet. At Ohio State, he showcased leadership, poise under pressure, and the ability to elevate his team in big moments, culminating in a college football playoff national championship in the first year of the new 12-team format. While Howard's college stats were solid, finishing his final season with 4,010 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, and just 10 interceptions, what really impressed scouts was his competitive spirit and willingness to grind. His pre-draft interviews reportedly impressed several teams, including the Steelers, with his football IQ, humility, and hunger to improve. It's those intangible qualities that Pittsburgh is betting on as much as his physical talents. The Steelers' quarterback situation remains fluid, but the addition of Howard signals a clear acknowledgement by the organization that they must invest in developmental options rather than continuously relying on stopgap solutions. Even if Rodgers ultimately suits up for Pittsburgh in 2025, Howard will benefit greatly from sitting behind one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, learning the nuances of the position at the professional level without the pressure to start immediately. This approach mirrors strategies used successfully by other teams in recent years, allowing talented but raw quarterbacks to marinate behind veterans, learning at a pace conducive to long-term success rather than being thrown into the fire before they're ready. The Kansas City Chiefs famously did this with Patrick Mahomes behind Alex Smith, and while Howard is not being anointed as the next Mahomes, the principle remains the same. Sometimes the best thing for a young quarterback is patience and proper development. For Howard, the opportunity to develop in Pittsburgh represents not only a dream come true but a chance to prove the doubters wrong. He enters the NFL with a chip on his shoulder, fueled by the memory of waiting longer than expected to hear his name called and determined to make every team that passed on him regret their decision. Meanwhile, for Steelers fans, Howard's emotional reaction to being drafted has already endeared him to the fanbase. Pittsburgh prides itself on players who wear their heart on their sleeve, who understand the honor and responsibility that comes with donning the black and gold. In Will Howard, the city may have found its next great underdog story, a player who embodies the grit, toughness, and loyalty that Steelers Nation holds dear. The road ahead will not be easy. Development at the quarterback position is rarely linear, and Howard will face challenges along the way, learning a complex playbook, adjusting to the speed of the NFL game, and carving out his place in a crowded quarterback room. But he's ready for the journey, and the Steelers are ready to walk it with him. There will be competition, there will be growing pains, and there will be moments of doubt. But there will also be opportunity, growth, and, if all goes according to plan, the emergence of a quarterback who can one day lead the Steelers into a new era of success. For now, though, it's about the next step, getting into rookie minicamp, digesting the playbook, and beginning the grind that every rookie faces upon entering the league. Howard understands this better than most. He knows nothing is guaranteed. He knows he'll have to earn everything. And that's exactly how he wants it. As the 2025 NFL Draft Weekend concludes and attention shifts to the upcoming summer camps, the story of Will Howard in Pittsburgh is just beginning. It's a story of faith, perseverance, and belief in oneself, in destiny, and in the idea that sometimes, when you trust the process and wait for the right opportunity, you end up exactly where you were always meant to be. For Will Howard and the Pittsburgh Steelers, that place is together, bound by a shared hunger for success and a belief that the best is yet to come.